Hello, everybody. Happy Monday to you. We are here for episode 14 by my count of the Park Streamers Hangout. And we have a lot to cover, actually. There's a lot of things going on at Disneyland, Knott's Berry Farm, kind of revolving around food. But before we get started, we have a little something for you that we want to share. Barry,
Hello,
please.
this is Walt Disney.
Well, what the heck? Hold on for a
I'd
second.
like to welcome all of you to the Park Streamers Hangout tonight. Bob, Danny, and Cordy are dear friends, and I know they have an amazing podcast for you. So thanks for joining us tonight, and enjoy the show.
Wow.
Little Walt from beyond the grave.
Little Walt.
I feel very special.
Who would have guessed?
I know. Let me tell you, it was hard getting that voice recording from him. A little tough. A little seance there going on.
Nice.
Started now that he's, Walt has welcomed us in himself. Let's just kind of go around the room and kind of let everybody know where they can find you. Barry Place, we'll start with you.
Hey everyone, how you guys doing? I'm Barry Place 28. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, X, Facebook, Twitch. I think that's it.
TikTok.
TikTok. Thank you. See, there we go. At Barry Place 28. So come join me.
All right, and Theme Park Casual, TPC.
Yeah. Hey kids, welcome back to another the Park Streamers Hangout. Jeez, it's gonna be a night. You can find me on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram, all of them at Theme Park Casual.
All right, great. And Cordy In California, YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, and that's pretty much it.
You guys have so many of those. I've only got a few of them.
Threads. We just forgot about that, right? That doesn't even really exist.
I never even say Threads because I never go on to it.
So we're going to start with something that's coming up this Friday. It's the at California Adventure. We've got the Food and Wine Festival coming up. So just kind of wanted to just go over it a bit, just kind of high level because we know we're going to be there, tasting some yummy foods for you guys. So we'll be able to share a little bit more kind of, real time. But I just kind of wanted to go over, the dates, how many carts there are and kind of a little bit of the menu. Like there's a lot of things that are coming back and most of those things are, I think they made good choices on what they're bringing back. So it starts Monday, March 1st. The carts are already out there. So there's going to be a total of 10 carts. So it's basically the same ones that we see for all the festivals, but they just kind of change the names up. And but I haven't seen anything yet, but I'm sure a soft opening will be coming, probably Wednesday-ish, maybe Wednesday. And just kind of a quick note on that. If it's during the soft opening, they're not selling the lanyards or anything. So you just pay for the items full price, right? You're not getting any discounts with the sip and savor tabs, but it's a nice time to kind of get first crack at the foods that they have there. So like I said, they'll have 10 carts out. And then this runs March 1st through April 22nd. So it's a pretty long, festival. So that's nice. You have a pretty good opportunity of, trying everything out and not feeling too rushed. Cause I know Lunar New Year kind of, every time it just like flies by and you're like, oh man, you're trying to use up all your tabs at the end. So.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised though. It also feels like they didn't even take a breath from Lunar New Year to Food and Wine Festival. It's like, they didn't even bother moving any of the booths out. It was just like, just put the new signage on them, get the new menus up, and let's go. So
I know.
It's kind of crazy. They move quick when they want to.
When I was streaming last night, I felt the same thing. I was walking by. I'm like, oh, look at that. Uncorked California. Okay, we already got we got the menu. That's great. Okay. Can we just have Lunar New Year?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So a couple of things I think there's a few new things. So they have food at Earth Eats, and I don't have images, so I think it's better to kind of save it for when we're there, or maybe if I want to try and do something where we can kind of go through the menu before it starts this week. But I feel like the Food and Wine Festival is kind of one of the best of the festivals, just because I don't know, it's springtime, right? We're going into spring, and the music, and then of course we get I always want to say it backwards. California Soarin' is back for this time too. So starting Friday, you guys will get to experience that, whether in person or through the streams. So
And you said it backwards.
I did say it backwards.
It's soaring over California. The old coaster was California Screaming. Yeah, I know. Well, I always want to say soaring over the world, and it's not soaring over the world. It's soaring around the world.
I know. I want to. Yeah.
So yeah, it's
over. Kind of.
They've messed up with their branding because none of us can get it right. So.
So we're right. They're wrong.
Exactly.
Okay. Let's see. Just kind of scrolling through, like there's, of course they have the cocktails and things like that. So there's a lot of fun. They invent some pretty fun cocktails at the different booths. So those are pretty good. And then they also, of course, have the non-alcoholic, which they have fun with those too. So I always say try a couple of those out. I found that pretty much everything that I've tried has been really good. So I wouldn't waste a tab on a drink. Well, you can't use them on alcoholic drinks, but if you're getting just kind of a regular, beverage, don't waste a tab on them just because the price point, it doesn't make sense. So one of the things that's coming back, and it's been there every year, at least for the last 3 years, but I think it was there even before, is so they always have a macaron. So at Food and Nuts About Cheese, they don't have a lot there, but what they do have is they have a Big Bad Barbecue Pulled Pork Mac and Cheese, which is new. I don't remember that one. But yeah, it sounds good too. I'm like, I'm kind of intrigued by what that'll be. But they have the Mickey shaped macaron.
What's the flavor on the macaron?
Snickers.
Ooh.
That thing is delicious. Like I do highly recommend sharing because it's super rich and sweet. Even I say share. But it's that thing is just so good.
Yeah.
So I would say
real quick, I just want to say, hey, Rogue Attraction, be careful driving, man. But thanks for listening.
So we were just talking about Uncorked California. That's where you'll find they have lots of wine, like flights. So wine, mimosas, and then of course different beers.
And those are usually those aren't included with the tabs. Those are usually
no alcoholic beverages.
Oh, none of the alcoholic. Okay.
Because the price, right? They all are like $17.
Okay.
So a little too high for
too
much of a value.
Yeah. And, well, actually, on the screen there, Cordy, you got the raspberry almond cake, and then here's the drinks that you were talking about.
Oh, there you go. I was going to share my page, but then I can't really see this one. Let me make it bigger. Go ahead and scroll a little bit since you already have it up. So I think there was, this is new. So I think a lot of people are intrigued by the olive oil cake. So we'll have to see what that's about.
It sounds kind of weird.
But I mean, lemon curd topped with vanilla.
Yeah, that one looked good. I saw that the other day when I was passing by, and it looks interesting.
Yeah.
So
that one I think is going to be.
You have me at candied lemons.
That's worth giving a try, I think.
And it's got like this little clear. I think it's the lemon lime gelée, whatever you call it, and it's looks like a little ice cube.
Oh,
so,
I know.
Yeah, it looks really, like I said, it looked really cool.
Okay, cool. So we'll be trying that. When we get together there, us three will put that on our to try list. And the carbonara garlic mac and cheese, that's a returning food item. So that was there last year. And I think the year before, I feel like I remember it from the year before. Huckleberry citrus cooler sounds really good. I'd like to try that. I think that's new because I don't remember that from last year. That's a non-alcoholic. The grilled top sirloin, that one I think is one of the like the top foods of the festival. It's really, really good. I mean, it always depends.
How big is that top sirloin? Is it like an
Actually,
ounce?
I got quite a bit. So I think I ordered it. I had it the year before, and then I think I might have got it twice last year. And so it's, they cut it up into pieces, and it's on top of a bed of like garlic mashed potatoes. And then, and then the chimichurri sauce is like over the top. But that one was really, really good. And then we'll scroll up just a bit.
I hope that one's on the lanyard.
Yeah, that one is. That one is. The chili relleno empanada, that one is super delicious too. And I think that one, oh yeah, that's a peppers caliente. That one was
You say it like when Harry met Sally. Those peppers, they've got the peppers caliente.
Talk to you guys.
Wow.
So I would recommend that. That one was really good. I think the shrimp papas locas is new. I don't remember that one. They had something different last time, but it was a shrimp dish that was there. And usually that's the booth that's right by as you're going towards the Grizzly, right where the wheel is. They have that one booth there. And then they always have a Paloma there, and every one has been delicious. Of course, it has pineapples, so you can't beat that. And then I noticed here at the Craft Brews, I don't know how I feel about cheeseburger bao. I don't know if Devin's here, but I want to get your take on this one. He's
Thousand Island dressing with grilled onions, pickle, and tomato relish. Thousand Island dressing. Okay, so
I don't know. I'll probably try it, but I'm like, it's kind of.
I will try it. I'll need to get rid of the tomato relish, but
I wonder if it's on top.
What's that?
I wonder if it's on top, like the
right.
other
Yeah,
one.
I'm hoping that it's on top. Well, but I want to say Disney World has these. Like they've got like a little cheese. I don't know if they're cheeseburger egg rolls or something like that, but Disney World has it, and they're like everybody loves them. So I'm willing to give this one a shot. Yeah,
because to me it doesn't sound very good at all. I'll take a cheeseburger in paradise, but cheeseburger bao, oof, I don't know, man.
Didn't they have this? I don't know if anybody knows in the chat. I feel like I saw this at Tropical Hideaway. They'll change out. They change out.
Oh, right. Yeah, maybe they did have them there.
At one point they had them last year sometime, but just for a certain amount of time. And then the s'mores caramel tart, that looks like the same thing. Christina, right? This is what we tried over at Jolly Holiday. So they had this during Christmas time.
That's right. They did have a s'mores tart, didn't they?
Yeah.
So I never got to try it.
That's the same one. But so they're probably, I don't know if they're moving it away from Jolly Holiday to make room for other stuff. So, and then it'll be here. But that was good. That one again was really rich. So having shared it, I think was a good choice for us. And then at that same booth, they have, of course, all the different beers, IPAs, and they do have quite a selection. So if you are there to try a lot of these different, and if I'm not mistaken, I think they're all like local breweries or California breweries, so which would make sense. So it's kind of nice to be able to go and, I don't know, just support these local breweries and try out and see. You might find something new that you like. And then, okay, I'm ready to scroll.
Oh, okay.
I feel
like all these.
Okay, next page, please. And
Moon.
They always so the beef brisket slider, is that one on a oh yeah, that one was really, really good. That one was delicious.
Yeah.
That one's good.
I did like it last year. I just wish it was a little bit bigger.
Yeah. Considering if they're trying to say that it's a $9 slider, that's a bit much.
That's my point. It's a $9 slider. Can I get two for that price, please?
At least at that size, they're pretty small.
But that one, it's a delicious little nugget. The cheese pizza flavored wings, those are new. I know they have wings, but this is a new flavor.
I like cheese pizza. I like wings.
So
I don't know about cheese pizza wings.
cheese pizza flavored. Like, what does that mean exactly?
Right. Like got a little bit of oregano and like sun-dried tomato on it. You know, it's
With tomatoes.
Oh, don't say tomato.
Yeah, they're losing me. They're losing me. And this is just in my mind.
He's thinking about all those seeds that might be in there.
Yeah.
That actually looks good. The tangerine cocktail.
Oh yeah,
looks good. Yeah,
well, anything with tiki in it, I'm there.
That's a new one too. Yeah, that's brand new. A kiwi apple lemonade. That sounds like very refreshing beverage there.
Let me go back to the top because I think
is there something?
Here's the food at Earth Eats, so we can start up here.
The Impossible. Oh, that's kind of cool that they've got, because that's a new name.
Yeah, that's a new booth.
That's one. So just the Impossible. So it's those three things. What do they have? Chicken parm bites with tomatoes, and then beef stroganoff. Which, I mean, you know, if it's fresh and hot, the beef stroganoff could be something worth trying. And then a watermelon and cucumber mojito, which that sounds really delicious too.
These drinks better be big because that's my issue with these alcoholic drinks. They're like this big.
Yeah, you get your little 12-ounce cup, and then
too much ice. Sometimes I'm like, wow, there's so much ice in this. I didn't even get anything, but they sound really good. So maybe pick one and try that out. Oh, and then food. Okay, LA style, which I'm trying to picture. I feel like the LA style was, I think it's in that little cutout area. If I'm not mistaken, that's where that usually is. But I don't know about the pork belly. I haven't had good luck with any of the pork belly dishes. I don't care for them, but we shall see.
Well, this is actual pork belly, not the Impossible pork belly.
Well, no, but I mean, like even when they had the pork belly adobo, that was trash. I didn't like it. It was not good. In my humble opinion. And then Baja style fish tacos. So it's interesting that the tacos are $7.25 because that wouldn't be something that I would say warrants would be, worth a tab, because it's usually like that $8 and up with our key discount anyway. But that sounds interesting. I'm glad that they added that to the menu.
Yeah, but I have a feeling if it's going to be like a street taco, really tiny.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, for $7.25. Yeah, that's minuscule.
And then they'll have the spicy strawberry cocktail. So that's a gin drink. Oh, tamarind. Okay, what else do we have here? Strawberry syrup, pineapple juice. Okay.
Oh, we got chamoy. There you go.
Yeah, that could be pretty good. Oh, a frozen. Oh, I was gonna say old fashioned, but it's non-alcoholic. Bourbon flavored ice cream, bitters, crema, orange juice. Oh, that's interesting.
I might try that. I love old fashions, even though it's non-alcoholic. But that sounds good.
Yeah,
I'd go for that.
Yeah, that's a good. There's a lot of good additions, I think, to this year's menu, and then a peach cobbler.
Yeah, peach cobbler cocktail. There you go.
Peach and amaretto liqueur, and condensed milk. Oh, that sounds really like
in an itty glass. Kidding.
Frozen peaches. You kind of have real peaches. No, I'm kidding. And then Golden Dreams has. Oh, they have a few of like just regular beverage, blueberry pancake cold brew. I think they had. Oh, they had. Was it a beer last year? There was something that was blueberry. I feel like it was a coffee. I think it was a cold brew. Yeah. Oh, this one. I don't know why I thought it said beer. Yeah, they have.
I'm like,
I think I need a beer.
There's a cold brew.
It's a cold brew, not a cold beer. Yeah, that was good. That actually was pretty tasty. You would think it's a lot going on, but it went well together for me.
Yeah, and there is a lot in there, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it sounds like you're like, wow, they're really trying to do a lot with this. And then on top, it was just like, when they say garnished with that, it did have like little, not big pieces of cereal. It was just like very like just sprinkled on there. They were smaller pieces, so it was easy to drink.
One quick note off the subject. Mama's Oil Factory points out Chalk Walk is Sunday, July 21st this year.
Oh, that's coming up. Quick.
It's coming up.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
And hey, Pops, thanks for stopping by.
But yep. And then the last thing there, fig matcha latte. So if you're a matcha fan, my daughter will probably be trying that. But
then we got Nuts About Cheese.
Yeah, we're back to the start.
Yep.
That's where we started.
That's where we started. The Snickers macaron.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let me take that away.
And then I think, what did we want? What was our next topic? What do you guys want? Who wants to take the next one? Because we got a few things we wanted to talk about.
I thought you were going to talk about the HM thing. Ooh.
The HN thing? Or
Haunted Mansion.
Oh. Okay, yeah, we can. We have some. Do we have the pictures of?
Oh, I thought maybe you guys had them shared and ready to go. What? Okay, let me. You know what? Let me see if I can just show the. Hold on for a second here.
I think I have them saved on here. So.
Oh, you know what? Let me go back. I can pull up Fresh Baked stuff because he was kind of sharing it anyhow. So give me a moment.
So we're going to show. We actually. I saw it earlier than TPC had sent over the picture. Like, oh, we can share this. So I think actually somebody shared it with Fresh Baked and then he posted it.
Right.
But some images of kind of behind the curtain with the work they're doing for Haunted Mansion. So we talked a little bit before we started, and it's like, this is why maybe they don't want us to see back there, because it can be a little triggering for some, just to like, oh no, what's going on? So
these pictures are from GMOC One Man 69. So he's the one that actually took all these photos and gave them to Fresh Baked.
Yeah, so that's one. There were 3 pictures that were posted. So we have kind of 2 side views and then I think a front view that they shared.
And I know it's a little dark, but you can see, well, they've really torn that whole area up.
Mm-hmm.
And the tree is gone by the pet cemetery, as Haunted Mermaid was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you just have to have trust in the process and just, have faith that they'll,
Well, and I figured they were going to do this because they were going to have to redo the whole layout. And to be honest with you, the way the layout is right now, obviously it's old, outdated. So I think they're going to make it, I think they'll still make it, how it's kind of nice and open when you walk in? I'm sure it's going to be like that kind of throughout the whole process, kind of like it is over at Walt Disney World. I think that's what they're going for, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
My thing, if they're going to do this, I hope they they leave that, like you said, the front area. I hope that it's nice and open, and but I hope what they do is they lead you through the back and then let you enter right up through the columns, so that everybody goes up through the columns. Because that was always one thing that bothered me. It was like you got this beautiful stately manor, but you come in off the side and you come like along the walls rather than come right up through up in front of the column. So I hope that they would kind of reroute the queue so that when you actually go up to the mansion, you're coming up through the columns. That would be at least awesome. That would be a good change in my opinion. If they were able to reroute things and have you come, instead of coming up that way and then circling to the back, have you go to the back and then come up to the front as you're coming in. That would be a nice change.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's going to be, they did need to improve upon the queue, just because, right now we have Lightning Lane. And then I think I know they're adding is it an elevator specifically, right?
Elevator for all the wheelchair and disabled access.
Yeah, because I think even now, I know they have, kind of on the other side where they have a little ramp area, but everything seems really tight right now. Where there were
times where it's like single file when you're like next to the Lightning Lane, and it was
Yeah,
Yes.
kind of crazy.
And I saw a lot of people just kind of slip into Lightning Lane after the fact. There was a lot of that happening. Very often would see that.
Yeah, so this will be, I mean, I'm curious if it'll be, if they'll separate it as much as some of the newer attractions, right? Because, like Rise of the Resistance is completely separate. If you're, in the
Right.
standby queue, you're going completely different way than
Mm-hmm.
Lane. So
Hey, maybe you'll get to go through the crypt, the back way. That'd be kind of
it'd be
cool.
really cool if they did something like that, where
Yeah.
a little more immersive. And but I'm sure they'll still want to keep, because it's so nice to be able to walk by and look through the gate and see the mansion.
Have a
So
good clean shot of the mansion still. Yeah.
mhm. Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
work that in. But yeah, so that this, I know, because I had asked on my stream if anybody had any topics that they wanted us to cover, and this was one of them. Just like what's the updates on Haunted Mansion. So it was perfect timing that was posted, I think just today maybe or last night. So that kind of gave us a little window in, because I haven't heard anything. So that was kind of nice to be able to have those photos for reference. Yeah. And the other thing that my chat had said was like any updates on Tiana's Bayou Adventure, but I haven't heard any new things about that. At least here, I know Walt Disney World, there's quite a bit of progress there, but I haven't seen much. Just walking by and trying to look, where we can see.
Yeah. The other night I was there, you could hear all kinds of all kinds of Disney magic happening over there.
Yeah, inside the.
Is that what you call it? I'm kidding.
That's the actual sound of Disney magic.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Jackhammers.
Well, they did show the animatronic for Tiana. And what did you guys think of that?
Oh wait, what was that? I'm sorry.
They showed the animatronic for the Tiana in Walt Disney World, and it was just the one animatronic out of the 19 they're gonna have, or 17. Is it 17?
Something like that. It's in the high teens.
Yeah.
But
and 9 are in the finale, so there's not going to be a whole lot throughout the ride because, as I'm hearing, it's a lot of projections. But
those are the new animatronics, I believe.
Right.
These are the new animatronics, so they may still have repurposed animatronics. These are the 19 or whatever it is. They're the new ones. These are like new characters and new animatronics that are being built, as far as I can recall. So there may be other ones, because I remember even in some of the concept art, you could see that some of the animatronics were similar to what was in Splash Mountain, just reskinned, animal or critter or whatever. But the Tiana animatronic, I don't know. It didn't look like Tiana, and that's been my issue the whole time with this. Is most people want to see Tiana in the dress. And I'm sure at the end we'll probably see her in the dress. So I'm just curious how this whole storyline is going to go, and I'm curious about it. I'm not going to bash it or anything right now. I'm just going to say I don't see it right yet because I don't have enough information. But what I have seen, I'm kind of like I'm not sure if I get it. So
yeah. Well, I don't know about you guys. Well, I mean, the animatronic for me, her face looked a little too full. I mean, she has a really skinny face. She always has her hair pulled back. I mean, granted, she's not wearing tiara. She's not, going to a fancy ball or anything like that. She's on an adventure, so that's why her hair is down. But nothing really looked like her. The movements were amazing, and it looked really fluid and looked really cool. But yeah, I was a little disappointed that she didn't look as much like Tiana as from the movie, I guess you'd say. So that was a little disappointing for me. But again, we don't know. We've heard the story. We know what's supposed to happen, but until you see it in full force, I mean, then we can obviously judge it. But yeah, I was a little disappointed with. I was excited to say, oh, they're going to show something. Oh, really? That's it? Oh, okay, bye.
Yeah, that'll be. I think that's going to be the thing, is the timeline, right? Because that could be Tiana, 10 years after. You know what I mean? Like, who knows what kind of timeline.
Somebody brought that up online, and somebody else countered with that there's artwork, concept art showing what's the little boy that plays the drums in the movie? I think his name is Ricky or something like that. I can't remember. But the little boy is still a little boy. So it's like it hasn't been that much time between the end of the movie and this story, if that's the case.
Mm-hmm.
So again, and then somebody else even pointed out, they were like, it looks more like her mom, the animatronic, that it looked more like her mom. And then I was like, did they say that this is Tiana, or did they say this is an animatronic from Tiana's Bayou Adventure?
Ooh.
I'm trying to recall if they ever said that this is Tiana, because it could have been her mom, somebody said.
Interesting.
I'm going to look at it real quick.
Yeah.
So Nola Lala says,
yeah, her mom's in the background, and then somebody pointed that out, that it's like, well, that's her back there, so this has to be Tiana. It's pretty bad when it's this vague and everybody, there's different points of view that could be misconstrued, and I could be completely wrong. And like I said, I just saw somebody mention that it could be her mom.
So I just went back and watched the video again real quick, and the employee walks up to her and goes, "Tiana, you're looking great."
Okay, so it is
good.
Tiana.
So she says, "Yes, it's
so
Tiana."
That is Tiana then. So
yep,
yeah, but
and they're doing now. I'm curious. I want to see the picture. They're doing a photo op, which actually ends this month. There's in New Orleans Square, Tiana's photo op. I don't know if you guys saw that. I mean, it's one of those where you're standing next to an invisible person, but what does the image say?
Oh, I think I have it here. Yeah, because you shared it. Hold on for a second.
Yeah, I did. I was like, where did I?
You did. Let me just get to it real quick. Let me go back to it. My Instagram page here, and go back. Yes, because you did share it, and I saw it there. So we will. Let me see. Can I?
On the like
no, it doesn't zoom in. But I'm going to share this anyhow. Oh, hold on for a second. No, I'm not. I'm going to do this. Give me one sec.
So while we're looking, I just wanted to ask Nola Lala, because I noticed, I don't know if you got to see Tiana in her gown, because I know I've only been able to see her a couple times, because they'll sometimes, I don't know if they're still doing it, but she'll come out during the day over by Golden Horseshoe. So when the band's out there, and then Tiana might, come out and she just kind of, with the crowd and dances with the kids, and it's really fun. But I don't know if you got to see that, Nola Lala, and what you thought of, I guess the
what the heck?
Represented, you know what I mean? Like
oh, magic. Oh, sorry, I looked on the wrong thing.
Nola Lala points out that they make her look a lot older, not only in the video, but also the friend of Tiana in the park. I wish they would cast more like the characters, like the Aurora they have is amazing. Now, the Tianas that I've seen in the Magic Happens parade, those are always spot on.
Yeah.
Those are just perfect for Tiana.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. That's it right there.
Oh yeah, see that's I mean, I feel like that's a good, like if you're referencing the animated, right?
Mm-hmm.
Movie that would be. That's a cute one. I know I want to do that before it's gone.
Mm-hmm. But even that character there doesn't look like the animatronic, I think.
No.
Right.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, it's
And again, it's kind of weird, because with the animatronics, especially with a ride like Splash Mountain, you're going to be going by them so fast that that's why a lot of the times they're done almost as caricatures with out of proportion features, so that you can read them quickly, right? As you're like zooming past them, it's like you want to be able to catch what the expression was, what the emotion was supposed to be happening.
Mm-hmm.
And this one, I don't know. It doesn't register as Tiana right away. That's my only thing. You know, I feel like there should be something that signals Tiana, whether you're paying attention to what the new story is supposed to be or not. You should be able to go, boom, Tiana. You know what I mean? And I'm hoping that it works that way when we're on the ride. So we shall see. But that's it, like I said, with the face, it just doesn't. It didn't look like Tiana, and that's that to me is just a weird problem. But
yeah. And then just a couple of comments we got. So MB said, I heard that Tiana is it's Tiana. Oh, that it's Tiana and it's not a continuation of the movie, but another story of her life. Yep. Basically, it's kind of like what happens after the movie. And then Buddy put, I do like the full animatronic versus the projected faces, which I agree. I like the projected faces, but unfortunately they don't seem to last very long. And then sometimes the projection gets stuck on the inside and doesn't look very great. Like Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway at the end of the ride, you know, Mickey, Minnie, and Pluto. You can see that the projections have, you know, kind of gotten stuck on there. So I agree. The full animatronic is way better.
Yeah. I'm glad we're adding those.
And Nola also says that they wish the ride would have been the story of when they became frogs to when they were married. I think that's a good fit for the ride. I think that's what everybody's expecting. That's what everybody wants. That's what it seems like that's the right fit, you know, and it's just everything that we know of the layout of Splash Mountain, of the way the ride, you know, progresses. It seems like it would be perfect to just basically take the movie and let you ride through it and watch the scenes play out, you know, right up to the, you know, are you ready? You know, friends on the other side going up the final lift, drop down, boom, you're in the Bayou for the celebration that, you know, Tiana and Naveen are getting married. Maybe it's because it was too obvious, you know, because sometimes, you know, as creative people, it's like you don't take the obvious route because it's too obvious. That's what everybody's expecting, and you'll get bashed for doing what's expected. So
I know, but everybody was. My daughter was so hoping because she was same thing. But yeah, you're going up, right? Like she had it all figured out. Like what she.
that's what's going to be weird if people are going in expecting that, and then if it doesn't live up to something to that, it's going to be real weird. I mean, I love that they're taking a chance. Don't get me wrong. I love that they're trying something different because that's how Walt was. And Walt had plenty of stinkers. You know, we got to remember that. There were plenty of times where Walt went, oh, that did not work. And we just tore it down and started over, tried something new.
And Doom Boogie agrees, right? Exactly. If they kept it safe, they'd get hounded for that. Poor Imagineers. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, that's part of the problem is, you know, there's too many of us critics that, you know, don't really necessarily have any skin in the game and can sit there and armchair Imagineer all day long without it potentially costing my job or whatever. So
that's true. Well, at least we'll get a little sneak peek, you know, on the West Coast. We'll get to see what happens over at Walt Disney World. So we'll have an idea of what's coming. Assume that it's going to be exactly the same over here, so we shall see.
Well, no, that's just it. We know that it's not going to be exactly the same because they have a longer ride in Florida, so it's going to be a little bit different. Ours is going to be a semi, you know, very slightly truncated version of it, but that could sometimes make certain scenes better because they have to pack something into a tighter space, which makes it feel a little different. So we shall see.
We shall.
I get more excited about it, you know, as we get closer now. Yeah. Because it's like I'm just dying to see it now. It's like I really want to see what they did. I want to see if they can pull it off.
Well, it's weird to think it's like almost going to be a year already.
I know.
You know, like we're almost at the year mark somewhat. I mean, we're getting close to that. So.
All right.
So we're gonna. I think we want to talk about the Boysenberry? Do we want to skip over?
Good to me. Sure. Danny.
Are we talking Boysenberry already? Here we go. Where'd my screen go? Oh, there it is. Okay, so we got Boysenberry Festival coming up, and that starts March 8th. So Food and Wine gets started. 1 week later, we jump right into Boysenberry Festival. And I have to say, for my taste, Boysenberry Festival is the best food festival that happens in Southern California theme parks. So I've been to the Seven Seas Food Festival at SeaWorld. I've done the food festivals at Disney, and I've done several of the festivals at Knott. Boysenberry Festival is always the one I look forward to the most. It's usually the one that has the most items that I'm eager to try. And I think it's the one that fits the theme and the location the best out of all of them. And I love it that nobody else can really do a Boysenberry Festival. Only Knott's can do a Boysenberry Festival. So with that, we've got a ton of food and drink items coming at you at Boysenberry Festival. There's dozens of items that are on the tasting card, and then lots of them that are not part of the tasting card. So we don't really have a visual. Do you have anything pulled up, Bob, of any of the foods to look at?
I don't. You had a page put up, so I didn't know if you wanted to share that or something. Is it just the food guide?
Yeah, it's just a guide, so it's just the names. So there's not really much there. But
let's see. Hold on. Let me bring something up then. You talk, and I will bring something up. Give me one moment.
Okay. So in addition to all the new food items, we've got some of the. I'm going to just read off some of the Boysenberry drink items that they have. They've got Boysenberry West Coast IPA, a Boysenberry Blonde, Boysenberry Wine, Boysenberry Watermelon Seltzer, Boysenberry Sangria with an orange slice, Boysenberry Shortbread Cookie Ale, Boysenberry Kombucha. Is that how you say it, or is it Kombucha?
Kombucha.
Kombucha.
Boysenberry Juice, Mint and Cucumber Gin Spritzer, Boysenberry Rimmed Espresso Martini with lavender sprinkles. So they get pretty creative, and all that's just the Boysenberry stuff. You know, that's one of the things. I don't like the Boysenberry seeds, but when it comes to Boysenberry Festival, I will deal with them. I will go after it. I will try different stuff. I will get the seeds in my mouth and teeth and everything, and just be like, but it tasted really good. So.
Yeah.
So talking about some of the food items, I think this one's a new one. The chicken tikka marsala with boysenberry curry sauce over steamed white rice. I don't remember that one, but that one's it. Like I said, they try to go interesting with a lot of the boysenberry stuff.
Here we go. We got a little visual now of all the different foods. It doesn't say what's what, but you can kind of figure out some of these things, obviously.
Yeah. So just going through some of the ones that I'm looking at that sound really good. Double stuffed baked potato with boysenberry barbecue pulled pork and green onions. Potato and corn chowder with boysenberry crostini and boysenberry drizzle. That one, I'm definitely going to be trying that one. Let's see what else we got. Beef and chorizo boysenberry chili over boysenberry mashers.
Yeah, I see that.
And I think they had this one last year, the boysenberry barbecue beef barbacoa. It's a lot of bees. A lot of bees.
That was excellent last year.
That's on top of mac and cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Boysenberry sausage on the hoagie roll. That one is always a favorite of Casual Junior.
Yep. I like that one too.
Then they've got the plant-based Frank with boysenberry mustard.
That boysenberry
pork
mustard
loin slices over mashed potatoes with a creamy boysenberry mustard sauce. That one is one that I want to try as well. And then they've got this one sounds good, a mini funnel cake with boysenberry ice cream and powdered sugar.
It's right there on the bottom of the screen. Ooh, that looks good.
Yeah.
So can I ask, while you guys are going through this, just because I'm excited for this, and I know a lot of us are gonna be out there this year, if there's stuff that's new or if it's returning, like if you remember,
it's hard for me to remember everything. I probably should start to keep track of these so I can compare them from one year to the next. And I probably have this same food guide somewhere on one of my computers. It's just I work on 3 different computers, and I never know which one I downloaded it on.
You kind of been mentioning, which ones are coming back a little bit. The one thing about the Boysenberry Festival is they have so much more food than they have at Disneyland for the Food and Wine Festival. So they may have a lot of locations, you know, to go get food at, but they only have like 2 or 3 items at each location. Here, you've got several locations or several food items throughout the whole entire park. It's crazy.
Yeah, and so far everything that I've talked about is part of the tasting card.
That was
Everything that I've talked about is part of the tasting card. So that's the other thing. And then like this one, I don't think this one was here last year. The boysenberry sausage and hot honey pizza with ricotta and basil.
Yeah, they have that right there. You can see it's off to the far right hand side of the screen. Oof, that looks good too and sounds good.
the one like on the top thing.
Yeah, it's right above the mashed potatoes there. And it's right below the iced tea. I think it's iced tea.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and then a lot of the stuff, there's all the a la carte items, and they've got boysenberry key lime tart, deep fried shrimp over tots with a boysenberry coleslaw and cilantro crema, pickle and potato pizza with boysenberry garlic Alfredo. So they get really creative. This one's an interesting one. Elk burger with a boysenberry barbecue sauce and fried onions.
Elk burger.
Really?
Elk burger. Yeah, Knott's has been trying these different items, especially if you remember. Yeah, at Halloween they had what was it? Camel chili,
alligator.
They had ostrich. You know, so they try things. You know, and that's one of them. They got one pot beef stroganoff with cavatappi noodles and boysenberry bolognese. Boysenberry shake with an Oreo churro.
Oh, yep.
And then of course they've got the I guess this is probably the one of the few things that have been ever since the first Boysenberry Festival, but the fun bun is back. And if you don't know what the fun bun is they take a giant cinnamon roll, drop it into the funnel cake batter, and then they deep fry it, and then they put boysenberry cream cheese glaze all over it. So, yeah, deep fried cinnamon bun.
And I think I remember, was that last year? Was that when you guys were both there? And it was the ice cream, the churros with the boysenberry. It had to be during Boysenberry Festival, I would imagine.
No, that's an everyday thing. The churro sundae with the boysenberry. Or was there something else that we tried?
Maybe that was it. It's just standing out to me.
Yeah, that one they have all the time. This is when they start getting with the crazier things. Like I said, with the where was it? The boysenberry shake with the Oreo churro. So, and then they've got boysenberry cannoli, which that one's funny because I remember me and my brother used to always sit there and say, "Oh, we can't wait to get the boysenberry cannoli," and then we realized I don't think they've ever had a boysenberry cannoli. And then we'd ask every year, "Do you guys have a boysenberry cannoli?" No. "Do you have a boysenberry cannoli?" No. "Do you have a boysenberry cannoli?" No. And then last year they finally had the boysenberry cannoli.
Yep.
So I think they were listening and going, "We got these two guys that keep asking for a cannoli. Can we just get a cannoli finally?" And then fully loaded banana pudding funnel cake with a boysenberry drizzle. So there's plenty of stuff, and like I said, I'm looking forward to a lot of these items. So Boysenberry Festival is always my favorite festival, and I'm excited because there's a lot that I want to try this year. Because some years it's like, oh, there's like 4 or 5 items. This year I feel like there's like 7 or 8 at least that I'm just like, okay, I need to get those ones. And some of them are on the a la carte, so I'm going to be spending money this year. Darn it. So what do you guys think? Are we doing a meetup for Boysenberry Festival as well? Are we going to try to figure out a day?
Show me the ropes.
Well, I say yes. I know
it's
starting
right. This is going to be Cordy's first Boysenberry Festival. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I just went one day. I went on the opening day. But what did I try? I think I tried, someone gave me a meal ticket. So I went to the fireman's thing. And it wasn't this.
Yeah.
So I'm.
Well, I'm definitely looking forward to it. And just to remind everyone, you can go to the Knott's Berry Farm website, and you can search for Boysenberry, Festival. You can click on the guide like they have here The guide is great because it opens up a little PDF, and this is probably what you're reading off of Theme Park Casual, but
That's
it
exactly
gives
what
you
I'm
the
looking
guide.
at.
And you can also see all the different foods. I know this is really, really tiny, but you can blow it up, obviously, and see all the things. Oh, and look at that. Not only do they have the T-shirts, with the Boysenberry pin this year, but they also have a collectible sipper cup. Look at that. Like, let's zoom into it there. Woo! There we go. So that's your sipper cup.
Yeah, and then they also do. They do have one big show that they do for the Boysenberry Festival, and it's Knott's Preserved, and it's a musical celebration.
Yes.
So, and it takes you basically they give you a
oops.
whirlwind tour lesson through the history of Knott's, all in the guise of a show, and it's actually a fantastic show.
It is. It's really cool. And then they have another one called Riverboat Revenge at the Birdcage Theater too.
Yep. So I don't think I've ever seen that one. I know that one's coming back. That one was there at least last year. So I'll have to check that one out this year.
Yep. But glad that they're bringing back the Preserve, musical celebration. It's always great.
Yeah, Knott's Entertainment just nails it. So they've been doing so fantastic the last several years.
Mm-hmm. I will say personally, I'm excited that for this year's, because every year I always look at the menu to see what they have. They have some really good things this year that I'm looking forward to trying. There's always one of those or two of those or three or four of those things that you're like, hey, that sounds great. And you try it and you're like, ooh, that wasn't so great after all. But at least you get to try it, right? I mean, I thought the Boysenberry quesadilla sounded great. And I tried it and I was like, nope, nope.
Yeah, I need to double check. I can't remember if the items that are on the tasting card, usually they are available a la carte. And what you need to make sure to do is check the tasting card or check the price of the individual items to see if it's worth it to use a tasting card item for that particular food item. Because sometimes you're better off getting some of the other items and then paying for one of the lower priced items, so that you're not spending more per item. Because the tasting card is fairly expensive. It's $55, but if you buy online, it's $52. So
if
those
are
pretty. What's that?
If you buy it online?
Yeah, buy online and save $3, and you get 6 tastings for that. So 6 tastings, that puts them at roughly $9 a tasting. A little more than $9 a tasting. So if you want to take a look and see if there's definitely do your research before you start handing over getting your items with the lanyard. I would definitely check to see what are the items that seem like they're a good value for that.
So if you go to the Knott's Berry Farm website, you click on the Boysenberry Festival, you go down to the festival food items, you click on learn more, and then if you come down here, it'll show you the tasting card and how much it is. You can buy it now. It shows you here too what's on the tasting card list. So you click on this, and then it gives you all the locations. So the Gold Mine Trail booth, and look at all the different things they have at this location. That's a lot. Now there's drinks in there as well as the food, but you can see they have quite a few locations in the areas. In fact, on this one, it looks like we've got about 10. No, we got more. We got 12 different locations you can go and buy food at, which is amazing. And then also on that same page, if you scroll down here, it actually gives you the same locations right here and tells you what's located at each of those locations. So if you scroll through them. So, and actually, there you go. There's the pizza. The pizza looks good to me. Hey, better than the one they had with the hot dog pizza for Lunar New Year. Woof.
Yeah, that one was a little disappointing. The little hot dog bun thing.
Yeah.
But whatever.
But, and see, that's something I wanted to bring up too, is that when you go to, and I'm not trying to rip Disneyland at all, because they have some really good food at the Food and Wine Festival, Lunar New Year, etc. But the portions are really, really small. And I feel like Knott's Berry Farm, you get bigger portions. Obviously, they made a couple changes to the tasting card last year, which was kind of disappointing. But regardless, you get bigger portions, and I think you get more food for your money than you do at Disneyland. So it's kind of a plus. And I'm looking forward to it. There's a lot of food we're going to be trying this year. Whew. a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, and definitely, like I said, you definitely got to do your research and make sure you're not, getting items that you're better off paying either a la carte or, it's not going to fill you up or really give you the bang for the buck. But there's plenty of items that do that.
So
Yeah.
for the tasting card at Knott's, do they cover any of the alcoholic beverages or no? Is it
Yeah,
No.
I was
Well,
mentioning.
actually, they do. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
okay?
So let me go back to my taste
Brian City had
guide.
asked going to be getting his pass. So
It,
Yeah, so like when I was reading earlier, the Boysenberry West Coast IPA, Boysenberry Blonde, the wine, the sangria, shortbread cookie ale, the juice, mint and cucumber, gin spritzer, those are all in the tasting card.
okay.
I will tell you though, you do get a smaller cup than if you just purchase it by itself. It's not a lot smaller, but it's a little bit smaller. So
Well, we've been talking about because some people it's their first time kind of doing the festivals even at Disneyland. So in talking with Christina too, we were talking about the tasting cards and like that, where even we were saying even if Disneyland or Disney offered a smaller portion, smaller drink portion for a tab, that would be nice because then you get to try it, right? And then you could have maybe a full size because just like with the foods, there was the shrimp tacos. You could get one taco by itself with with the tab, but then there was a meal. So if you really enjoyed it, you could go and get like a full meal and so I that would be kind of nice if they could add something like that to ours. I don't think they will, but I think that's definitely a plus to at least get a taste, right? That's what it's all about. It's a tasting event, so you're not expecting a huge.
no, but Brian's like, I wouldn't mind a drink.
Yeah, I wish they would kind of strike that balance and let it be, if you're going to pay, don't charge an exorbitant amount for the tasting cards and then just let them be, small plates, and everybody understands that, it's like I'm paying $7 and I know I'm going to get just a taste, to whet my appetite, to let me try something new or whatever. It's when like at Knott's, they're charging, upwards of $9, per item. It's like now it feels like, okay, I need to get a serious amount of food for $9. It needs to be a decent portion. But then it's like, do I want 6 of those decent portions throughout the day? It's like it starts to get to be a bit much,
Right.
And I know for those of us who can come back several times, yeah, you can just say, oh, well, I'm just going to get 2 items today and then 2 items next time and finish it off on a third visit, whatever. But, I don't know. I kind of like the idea of it being, a lower price, small portions, to give you a taste and a flavor of something. And then, like you said, have an option to say, oh, I really like that, the bulgogi. I really love that one. Let me go ahead and get a meal next time and an appropriately priced meal for something like that. So
I think
yeah, it's kind of, it's a weird balance that they've got to try to strike because I know, like I said, I'm telling everybody, watch, make sure you get the ones that are, more bang for your buck, but it's because you're paying so much money. Otherwise, I'd be like, oh, try whatever, just go for it. If it looks good, get it. If you were paying, $6 or $7 an item.
Lynn asked if there will be a streamer meetup at the festival, and we were talking about that, Lynn. So I think there will be at both, so we can.
I'm guessing at Knott's we may try to. I would love to be able to find a time when we can get as many of us there as possible. Get Winks and Living Dead fam, Ace Snoopy, Slim, and everybody. You have everybody show up, and we'll just do a big old meetup and really do the Boysenberry Festival. Do it justice.
Well, I just want to plug something real quick, but we are doing a meet and greet for my 1-year anniversary on the 16th of March. So maybe we can try to get everyone together that day or another
I'm
night.
washing my hair.
That's a really good excuse for not showing up, but I'll let it go. But anyhow, maybe we do that day or we can choose another night. It'd just be fun. Like you said, just everyone get together and have a blast and try it. Yeah, maybe another day.
Winks says, I'm down.
Awesome, Winks.
I kind of figured that one already, but
yeah.
We tried, it's not Boysenberry, but we were trying to get our last bit of the Peanuts celebration last night.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
So, I was there with CL and Devin, and then Winks and Linda Lou popped in. So, and Christina was there. So we all we
So
tried.
was it, Snoopy was there too, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we saw him at the end. Yeah, he was there,
Mhm.
and then he jumped out of the bushes at Tomorrowland Station and scared us later that night. But we tried what did they have? Some pinwheel pasta thing that was a part of the
Yeah,
celebration.
I heard about that one.
That was pretty good with the Alfredo, right? They put
Yeah.
the sauce on top.
Mhm.
And I think we tried a cookie. They didn't have the cookie that was a part of the festival, but we had something else that was delicious, and then like a lemon tart thing. And then I think we got fries. We wanted to get the little corn dogs, the little, they had those little, I think they were mac and cheese
Mhm.
corn dog things over by Panda. But we ended up with the French fries. So, but we did say, I know I'm totally going off topic, and then we went and ate at Hungry Bear after. Yesterday. But we all said Knott's had the better fries.
Oh, look at that.
And I will say that I think anything Knott's does with potatoes, they do very well, because the tater tot things that they do, right? How they, those
Mhm.
loaded tater tots and
Mhm.
Kevin's
Well, they
floor
got the giant baked potatoes too. Those things are not
and I heard
anything to
about those.
sneeze at. Those are huge.
I have to try that one of these times. But yeah, that would be fun. I think that would be great if we all get together there, and even because all of our friends now pretty much have passes to Disneyland too. So please feel
Mhm.
free
Right.
to join on for one
Yeah,
of the
I always tell everybody, I have no problem if you guys see me streaming, just jump in, come say hi, hang out for a little while. I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Same here.
shoestring fries, no relation to floor fries. Yes, Christina. Oh my goodness.
All right.
All right. So,
Well.
no, go ahead.
Oh no. Go ahead.
So
What were you gonna say?
$55, and how many tabs do you get again?
6. So you're looking at $9 plus per
Okay.
tab.
And then $3 discount if you buy it online.
Correct.
And then you have to buy a new one every time, right? If you want to buy a second one, you would have to go back and purchase a new one.
Mhm.
Okay. And then the food and wine is, they haven't put the price yet as far as I can find, but I found it was $59 last year. And then you get $5 off if you're a magic key holder.
Wow, it was 59 last year.
But you get 8.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, you get 8
Mhm.
tabs. So I think it's like, what is it? 725. I mean, with the discount, it's something like
Right.
that.
Yeah. It was 7 something.
Mhm.
So that's what you're looking at.
All righty then.
All right. So we got some work ahead of us with these food festivals.
Yeah. No kidding. All right. What is next on our? Well, we're still talking about Knott's Berry Farm. So should we talk about? I can bring up the fast lane bands and talk
Yep.
about that real quick.
Yep.
So I had the pleasure of being at Knott's Berry Farm with my wife and my daughter yesterday. I didn't do a stream. I should say we didn't do it. I didn't do a stream, but we had a great time just hanging out. It was the last day of this peanut celebration, and we wanted to kind of just hang out there and enjoy it together as a family. So we went there. Now, one of the things that I've been looking forward to is that they have some new kiosks that you can use your Fastlane band with, and they have some new Fastlane bands, and they finally started using those. So this is what the band actually looks like right here. Let me see if I can bring it back. There we go. So it's a Fastlane band. It's got QR codes in 2 different places. It's not the Tyvek anymore. It's actually made of like a glossy plastic. And then they have these kiosks, and I wanted to share those kiosks with you. So for those of you who haven't seen it, so let me share my screen with you. Let me bring it up here. Oops. Where'd it go? Sorry. I thought I had it all ready to go, and it's missing. There we go. I need to bring it up here. Give me 1 second. Okay. So it's loading up. Come on. There we go. So this is what the band looks like. Oh, look at that. I'm even modeling my drink there. This is what the band looks like while you're wearing it. The QR code. This is the scanner. So this is at Sierra Sidewinder. And they have these kiosks all over the place now. Some of the rides do not have it working. They actually have covers on top of them. They hopefully will have them in place soon. But I thought, hey, this looks really cool. I like this scanner, right? This is a close-up of it. So basically it just says there, oops, I'm having a hard time reading that, but it says, please wait, before you scan in. Once employee tells you to come over and scan your band, you can go scan your band. Now, I do have a video to show you what it's like scanning the band, and I'll show that to you in a moment, but this is over at Supreme Scream. So they're going to have one as well, which I think is great. And this is the kiosk, but it's all covered up. They're not using it yet. So let me show you a quick video. Okay. This is a really quick video, though, because it was really high quality. So it was hard to download, but this is what I came up with.
You like this?
Oh,
cool.
Oh, that's a really slow video. What the heck? It stopped. Hold on. Let's play this again.
You like this?
There we go.
Cool.
So I don't know if you noticed, but this is the first time I ever used it. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna put my hand underneath while I'm videotaping it, and there we go. There's not much room between the scanner and that little plate right there. And so you see, I put my hand on, I'm like, oh, I can't go this way. I got to turn my hand this way. So let's watch it one more time.
You like this?
I can't go that way.
Yeah, that's awkward.
It's really,
cool.
Yeah.
It's really awkward. So I'm thinking, okay, this was a great idea, but who thought of putting the plate so close to the scanner that it's hard to, scan? I think they wanted to put the plate there so that you could, scan the QR code, but they don't really tell you. You can put it on either hand, the wristband. It doesn't matter. But it almost seems like, it's better to put it on the left one to kind of easily scan and put in to the scanning area. But I thought it was a little awkward and a little weird. So I was a little disappointed by that.
Yeah, that illustration there on the bottom plate, that should have the arm and with the band so that you see that you put your arm in sideways.
Right. That's what I was thinking too.
They should just have like a little thing, you see the wrist and then the little band is right there and then the rest of the arm. And this way everybody goes, oh, okay, I go like that, and you just put your arm in there rather than try to get your hand in first.
Right. So, I kind of was disappointed that because it wasn't the easiest to go in there. And there's a couple times where, even my daughter who has a small arm and hand was trying to put it in there and it was a little difficult for her to scan it. The other thing too is, and this is maybe a flaw with it. So there's a couple QR codes on here, but my daughter has a really small hand. So when she actually put it on, instead of having two, there was only one QR code. See?
Okay.
And
so
for
spinning
kids
around, you gotta figure it out.
Right. Now she put it on a little tight, but the other thing was, she had it all covered up. So the way it was sitting on her hand, it was actually underneath. So then she had to like put her wrist up underneath to do it. And we were like, can you spin it around? Well, she put it on so tight that it was really tough to spin it around. So just heads up, if you guys do get the Fastlane bands, try to keep them a little loose and then try to make sure the QR codes are showing if possible. Definitely one for sure, so that you can do it and try to have the QR code. I think on top is a little bit better than trying to have it underneath. So,
no, Buddy Hepburn asked the question: is that just so they don't have to ask you to show them your wristband? There's not a turnstile that opens or anything.
So the funny thing is, you still have to show your wristband, and then they want you to scan it. So they're like, "Oh, show me your wristband," and then it was like, "Okay, now scan it." And it's like, "Okay, why don't you just say scan your wristband?" It was kind of funny. I don't know why they were like, oh, we got to show us your wristband first. The one thing that is, so you used to have the Tyvek, and then they had like a stamp. So the stamp is no longer there, and people can't forge the stamp or, just put their own stamp. It's got the QR code. But yeah, now, and by the way, the lines, some of the places like for Supreme Scream, sorry, not Supreme Scream, for Sierra Sidewinder, you still go up the back way, go up the stairs to use it. Supreme Scream's going to have a dedicated line, it looks like, and that's why it's not working yet, or in place. And then some of the other ones they just seem like really awkward where they've put them, but you still go through the same exit or location. And then for like, Accelerator went on that. So that's fine because you go into a dedicated line for that and you scan it. But again, they're like, oh, can you show me your band? And then can you scan it? And I was like, just scan your band.
So,
good question.
Winks was asking, do they have a fast lane scanner for drink refills?
No, they do not. So that's a great idea though, Winks.
I know. We were talking about that last night.
You know what? Just for that, Winks, back of the line.
Yeah. Although I will tell you, I was disappointed because we went to the park yesterday and I encountered a couple of cast members that weren't the most friendly. I was sharing this last night with Cordy, but we went to Fiesta Village, and right there next to the Hat Dance and La Revolucion, there's a place where you can get tacos and stuff. And you think that would just be on the dining menu, right? Because we have the dining plan. And I walked over, I didn't see the sign out front. I go up, I ordered, and I scanned my card, and she goes, "Didn't you read the sign out front?" And I was like, "No, why?" And she's like, "You can't use your dining pass here, or the meal plan's no good." I was like, "But okay, well, you didn't have to say it that way, And then I also have, so we have the drink plan that's a paper cup, and we have the drink plan that has the bottle that I showed already. And we walked over because my daughter wanted to get an icy. So we walked over to the icy station over there by the log ride. And I walked up, and the employee had just walked away from her station I think she was kind of cleaning out one of the machines. And I said, "Hey, can I get an icy?" And she turned around like, "Gotta help you." I'm like, "Really?" Like, I just want a cup. Just give me my cup and I'll be on my way. She seemed really upset that she had to help me. So that was kind of disappointing.
Yeah, I got to say, when we went to Disneyland the last time, there was a couple of cast members that I dealt with that were just like, we went and bought the 6-pack of cookies, and when I ordered, it seemed like the guy was annoyed that he had to even serve me or whatever. He was just kind of just blah. And I get it, it's like, you're working at a, counter at the fast food. I get it. It's not the most fun job. But then when, the girl comes and puts the little bag of cookies down, I'm like waiting, because it was like decently, it was like a good, 1.5 foot behind, the little window area. So it's like I didn't want to reach all the way in to grab them. So I'm like waiting for him to kind of, hand them to me. And he uses the back of his hand and just kind of brushes them toward me. And then it's like, I was just like, I don't know. It's, not that I expect that, the grandest of service, when it comes to that kind of stuff, but, just a little bit of common decency,
Sure.
But yeah, there was a couple of moments like that at Disneyland the last time we went, and I was just a little like, okay, maybe it's just, the unexpected crowds have everybody just a little on edge, but
right.
It's a little unnerving.
It is. I will say, I feel like that doesn't happen too often, thankfully, right? Mm-hmm. But it's a disappointing thing when it does happen. But most time they're wonderful, people at the park, great cast members or employees, and that's great. It's just disappointing when you get those one or two from time to time. And the last time I had that at the park was for the Lunar New Year, and they were running out of those strawberry macaroons, and they were like, oh, you can only order one at a time, and then he didn't want to take my order. I was like, really? I'm like, I'll go someplace else.
Yeah, but it just goes to show that they're so few and far between that it's almost jarring when it happens.
True.
Because most of the time, the cast members at both parks, at Disney and Knott's, they're fantastic. They're amazing people, and most of the time they just make the day that much better. So that's why when you get the and it's not even like that they were like super rude and like, oh my God, how could they do it? It was just, it wasn't that same oomph that we're used to, and so it just kind of is really kind of, like I said, jarring when you get less than that super magical experience that they're known for.
Yeah. And going back to Knott's again real quick. So I can't remember if it was on the Park Streamers Hangout or if it was on my podcast. It might have been during one of my live streams. Someone was asking, when are they going to bring the sarsaparilla back? Well, I actually went to the candy store and found the sarsaparilla. Not only did they have the regular sarsaparilla, but they also had the boysenberry sarsaparilla. So that was kind of cool seeing it there. So if you guys are looking for sarsaparilla, it's back over at the candy store.
It's back.
I think it was Garrett.
What's
I think
that?
Garrett Skidmore was asking about those.
Okay, Garrett. Yeah.
Instagram, yeah. And I was like, yeah. He was like, what are those?
Yep. So Garrett, if you're here, you can go get them again. They're over at the candy store. So that's awesome.
We had a few questions and discussions about those wristbands that you were showing for the fast lane.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't they just do RFID? Can they add the drink, to it? But I think, and I'm laughing because it's just funny, but we got the new app for Knott. So I'm like, it's kind of like baby steps.
Right. So I was thinking the same thing too yesterday because I was like, wait a minute. So I did notice my wife and I at the Casa, what is it called? Where they had the burritos there, theme park casual?
Casa California.
Thank you, Casa California. So we ate there, had a really good, we had really good burritos. While we were checking out, I noticed that he had wristbands similar to this for I think there's a food plan or dining plan or something like that.
The dining plan.
Yeah, and for the drink cups, I didn't notice they actually had writing on them, but it looks like very similar with like a QR code. But this one specifically says Fast Lane on it. I kind of agree. It's like we have, and again, I know Knott's is kind of behind the times a little bit, and they just got a new updated app. But I was kind of hoping, since I have the year-round Fastlane Pass, that they would actually include it onto the app so that I could just scan my phone. If I could scan my phone, that scanner is perfect the way it is. Yeah. But having to put a wristband on and then scan it that way, the thing is, though, I don't think they want to have it on your phone because they want to have a wristband on people to make sure that they're not letting other people on. I think that's a whole thing where Disney, it just doesn't really matter. I mean, well, actually, on Disney, you've got your picture on it. What? See, they could do that though. Your picture's on your pass, so if you scan it, it would show up.
Yeah, but everybody's been able to, shuffle fast lane or lightning lane stuff around.
I'm kidding.
So, but that's just it. It's like there's a certain point where it's like, okay, we want to be tight with things, but at some point you got to be like, okay, this is as tight as we need to get, and after that, let it go. And not what we got to remember is with all these systems, you've got different software for this scanner versus the register scanners, and then in order to have those two systems talking to each other, you have to have somebody that knows both of those programming, the software, to be able to have them talk. But then you don't want them intermixing too much, because then you get a bloated system and things start getting confusing where there's too much information and everything is all centrally located, so that if you have a system go down, you now have the entire park that's shut down. Whereas if you break it up into different systems, if the fast lane system gets kind of wacky, you don't have to worry about your food and drink registers getting wacky as well. And you can scan everything over there, keep this going and whatever. So there's possible reasons to keep things separated and to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Walt Disney World, the way that they use their magic bands, I know we don't have that yet. So kind of a similar.
Yeah,
right?
But do you remember how much they spent for that magic band and infrastructure? Well over $1 billion.
Yeah.
So that's the difference. That's the difference with Disney. They have $1 billion they can spend on this kind of thing. And
but we don't even have it, right? Disneyland, we don't even have.
But that's what I was going to say. It was $1 billion, and it didn't do everything they were hoping it to do.
Well, there's a lot that they're probably going to do at Disneyland, but at Walt Disney World, they use it for a lot more things than we do.
Oh yeah, so. They use it for a lot, but even that, they still didn't get everything that they were hoping for out of that investment with the magic bands and all the infrastructure. It was supposed to be this massively, widespread in almost every single attraction. There were going to be things that happen with your band, and it was going to trigger things in the attractions and all this stuff. I mean, even in Galaxy's Edge, it was supposed to be able to track you so that when you went to the store and bought something on the register and whatever, the cast member would know how you did in Smuggler's Run and be able to talk to you about that. That's the kind of thing that Disney was going for, and it just didn't pan out. So that's how complicated these systems are to get them to communicate and be able to track, all your financials, and then all the, guest information, plus all the ride information, all the operational information. To have all of these things talking to each other is a massive undertaking, and Disney spending, more than $1 billion on it still couldn't get everything to work properly. So just stuff to think about when we're looking and going, how come I have to scan this one over here and this one over there? There's a lot involved with these things. Everybody, we're all on this side of it going, well, if it scans, shouldn't they both be able to scan the same thing? Can't they? It's not that easy, folks.
Well, it should be. I'm kidding.
Why the hell not?
Wow.
Dang.
All right. Guys are cracking me up here. Do we have anything else for Knott's Berry Farm? Yeah, obviously Peanut Celebration is over with, and we got Boysenberry coming up next. So yay! Yeah. I'm looking forward to it, and I think it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Oh, one thing real quick. I didn't send you the tweet, but 21 Royal on Twitter posted that the little Snoopy clock above the store over there at the entrance to Camp Snoopy, the clock has been removed.
Yes, I saw that.
One of my favorite little places of theme park zen has been taken out, and there has been no reports of its whereabouts at this point. Now, I don't know for sure if it's gone, if it was dismantled lovingly and is going to be placed somewhere else, the same way that they're doing with the kayak at the entrance as the marquee, that is getting taken out but being placed somewhere else within Camp Snoopy. I'm hoping that this clock is either going to get refurbished and they're just going to, lovingly restore it and then place it right back where it was, or put it somewhere else in the land and not have it just gone to history. But as of right now, it is removed, and there is no reports of where it will be going or if it will be coming back.
Yeah,
and
actually,
I'm very, very disappointed with that.
I found the tweet. Here we go. So this is what they had tweeted right there. So it basically says, looks like the Knotts has removed the beloved Camp Snoopy clock that Los Angeles designed and covered up the space where it was with a new facade. So, yeah,
so scroll down and scroll down a little bit so you can see Los Angeles's reply right there, Eddie Soto.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
If losing it truly means something to you as a lost memory or a fave thing to see, you should let Knotts know that ASAP. They care about what their guests think and respond. Look at Barry Tells or redoing the mine ride. Yep.
So yeah, definitely. Probably tomorrow I'm going to try to record a quick little Gimme 5 video on this, and definitely when I go to Knott's next time, I will be stopping. If I haven't heard anything by the time I go again, I will definitely be stopping in at guest services and letting them know that, hey, I saw you guys remove the clock. I just want to hope that you guys will take a note and send it up to the team that's working on this, that we want it back.
Hey, can we do that for Kingdom of the Dinosaurs?
Start a petition, man. Get it going.
Or at least the old Barry Tells. Because I got to tell you, the last time we went on the Barry Tells ride, the reimagined one, it didn't work. And the sound went completely off for most of the ride, and the guns didn't even work. It was like, this is frustrating.
Yeah.
So
yeah, right. I'll definitely be doing that. If you guys care about these kind of things at the theme parks, if you know the little clock that we're talking about, you know how important those little touches are to a theme park. And that was one of my favorite little spots in Knott's. I would often give you guys a moment of zen there looking at the little clock. So yeah, if you can, fire off an email real quick to Knott's and, go to their website, fill out a form and tell them, hey, bring that clock back, please.
Mhm. Yeah.
And Linda
So,
Lou,
Mr.
yes, get those soapbox racers back.
Oh, I know. Mr. Guest said Kingdom of the Dinosaurs is my favorite ride, but I don't see how it'd ever come back. I know. It was just, I was kind of joking about that. I would love to see that, or the Berry Tales ride originally come back, but yeah, not going to come back. I know. Brian was asking. Oops, that's not what it is. Sorry. Brian was asking, anyone have the Knott's Prestige Pass, and how's the lounge and the special entry? So I don't have it. I got rid of my with the Platinum Pass. It was last year, and I didn't go for the Prestige Pass because it didn't seem like it was worth it. But I got to tell you, every time I've gone, there's no a special line to get in for Prestige. It's usually
it's only like the first couple hours in the morning, and it's like the 2 turnstiles all the way to the left. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure how big of a deal that is.
I've seen posts from Knott's Network and a few other people on IG talk about the lounge and show videos and stuff. The lounge looks really nice inside, but they don't have a whole lot to offer. Soda wise they do, but snacks wise they don't have a whole lot to offer. And the other thing that's really disappointing is they don't have a lot of special merchandise. They were like, "Ooh, we're gonna have special merchandise just for the Prestige pass holders," and really it's the 2024 stuff. That's all they really have at the moment that I've seen. So,
Winks, do you have the Prestige Pass? Is that what he's talking about? There was only one line.
I think just the one line, like it was, and we went last night. It was just, you waited in a long line just to get in.
Okay. I thought he was talking that was the Prestige line.
Yeah. Linda Lou says, Barry, your thoughts on the new Knott's app. Do you like it better than the other version? I like it a lot better than the other version, Linda. Thanks for asking. However, I don't know about you guys, but when I go to the map, I'm a little frustrated when I go to the map because it's so cluttered. And yes, you can filter it, but then when you filter it, it's so, I don't know, I still feel like it's kind of cluttered and not the best interactive map. So I was kind of hoping they would do something like Disneyland where it kind of move around, and this is kind of just a static map with just a bunch of little bubbles to show you where all the rides, food, and attractions are. So again, the map or the app is so much better than it was before, but I think they've got
I haven't really played with the app much, but holy mackerel, I just clicked on the map.
Steve, do you see what I'm talking about?
That is an unfriendly user interface.
Let me see if I can just. I don't know if you want to share your screen.
Yeah, here. Well, let me just show this is what we're looking at.
Yeah.
And this is zoomed. That's already zoomed in. I've zoomed in already right there. It's like.
Yeah.
So you probably have to filter.
That was what I started with. It's like you can't even see anything. It's like, what the heck am I looking at? You don't even notice that you're at Knott's Berry Farm. It's like you're just, what the heck? And yeah, it's too many right off the bat.
Yeah, see, that's my issue with the map is like
it needed to be attractions only at the beginning and let you find everything
and then
else
filter
after that.
Right, exactly. So, but Linda, thank you very much for asking. I appreciate it.
Is it typical? Okay, so Friday I was planning to go to Knott's to see the rooftop concert. Mm-hmm. So I checked the app and it said it was closing at 8. There were no show times. And then I caught up with Silver Stars later that night at Disneyland. He's like, "Oh, I was at Knott's," and I was like, "What?" They were open till 10 or 9, something like that. It was, yeah. So I mean, is that something just?
Well, I know Knott's at Christmas time was doing a lot of the extended hours where they, scheduled till 10 but stayed open till 11.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was weird. No show times. Like if you were there, you knew, but the app just said we're closing at 8. No shows were scheduled, but there actually was. So hopefully.
Yeah, I don't know. I would have hoped, because I know the old app, there was a lot of stuff that you couldn't get until you were in the park. It knew,
right.
It had you geolocated, so it wouldn't give you any information until you were in the park.
It does that with wait times now too, still. So.
Okay. See, that's dumb.
Well, I agree. I agree. It's great because, hey, sometimes, for example, G-Man, I know you're with us tonight, but, he'll be in our chats and he'll be like, hey, Rise of Resistance has this much more
Yeah.
time. Numbo has this time. And,
Mhm.
Small World has this time. And it's great when you guys interact with us and tell us what the wait times are. Now, granted, we can't go on the rides with you on a live stream, so I guess it doesn't really matter. But it would be nice if you could look at it from home and go, "Oh, it looks like it's a busy day today. Look at the right
Right.
time for Accelerator or Ghost Rider or whatever." So, oh well.
Yeah. So Knott's is still. They've got a few things to work out on the technology side, but they're like you said, the baby steps. They're moving along. They're moving along.
They are. All right. Anything else about Knott's for you guys?
I think that's it. There's no news on Montezuma. We're still waiting to see what happens with that.
I know. I'll be so glad when they finally just.
When does Summer Nights usually start? Because I know, how long does Boysenberry Festival go?
Boysenberry Festival should go
April.
It'll go daily through Easter, and then after Easter, I think it's another 2 or 3 weekends after that.
Actually,
it's Friday,
it's
Saturday, Sundays.
Yeah, it's March 8th through the April 7th, and then April 12th through the 28th is just Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay.
And then the whatchamacallit, usually it's Memorial Day weekend, I think, that they start the Ghost Town Live with the Not Summer Nights.
Okay.
Actually, let me look here. I can see it real quick because I'm on the page.
I'm curious to see when they're, like the official date, because I know we got Phantasmic coming back.
Yeah, so Not Summer Nights is June 14th through September 2nd. So it's a little bit later. So should we talk about downtown
Did you
Disney?
say Summer Nights starts in June?
Yep, June 14th.
Wow. I would have thought Memorial Day.
Yeah, I thought it was
weekend.
I thought it was Memorial Day weekend last year too, but maybe they pushed it back because think about it, Memorial Day weekend, they're actually opening up Camp Snoopy. That's a grand reopening. So maybe they're trying to get everyone to come for that first. And then
not to mention there's like a slight lull between Memorial Day and the mid-June because you go from Memorial Day, a lot of kids go back to school, and then there's all the graduations and stuff, so that pulls people away. So maybe they're just thinking, why bother going full bore right after that, especially like you said, since they got Camp Snoopy opening. So yeah.
Yep. Exactly. All right, let me go back here. There we go. So, should we talk about downtown Disney?
Let's.
Oh, everyone. So, I had the opportunity to talk to a couple of the employees who work over at Earl of Sandwich, one being in management and one being an employee there. And what I found out kind of shocked me because I was just casually having a conversation. And then they mentioned that they may be
breaking news, people. Breaking news. I don't think anybody else has said this.
No, I don't think so either. So at least I hope not. Anyhow, so basically they said that they are possibly going to be there for quite a bit longer at that same location. I'm like, what are you talking about? I thought you guys are leaving and going to another location, and then Porto's, you guys are going to bulldoze this place, and Porto's is going to come in. And they said, well, we just got information from Disney that it's 99% sure that Porto's is not going into downtown Disney. And I was like, what? Are you kidding me? Why wouldn't they go into downtown Disney? That seems like a no-brainer. And they said that they were, I guess, had some concerns and were going to pull out. They didn't know all the details, but they said that if that happened, that Earl of Sandwich was going to stay there for almost another year before they move into the new building. And I said, is it that far off before you guys can move into the building? They said, yeah. And then they started telling me about concerns they had with their building. I go, what are you talking about? They said they're having, I guess, sewage issues. They're having plumbing issues. They're having all sorts of issues with that building. I guess La Brea Bakery never really kept up the building. And when they moved in, they've had to, I guess, make a lot of changes and repairs and things like that. But they still are having issues. So apparently management is aware of it and they're trying to fix those things. But now they're really trying to focus on those because there's a good chance that Porto's it may not be coming in. So again, it's not 100% sure, but they said 99% sure. I'm like,
Wow.
1%. That's not.
That's
very
no.
good.
See that's huge though, because when they announced Porto's, that was a big deal.
That was a big
Right.
There were a lot of people that were very excited. Everybody thought that was like the greatest thing to be hitting downtown Disney. And if that falls through, wow, that's crazy.
Exactly. So again,
especially the fact
100%.
especially the fact that nobody's even commented on this. I haven't seen this anywhere of anybody saying that.
Well, they really haven't told anyone. So I was kind of like, can I say something about this? And they're like, yeah, just don't use our names. So I was like, all right.
Yeah.
But
I
was
still,
shocked.
that's what I mean. You would think that somebody out in the Disney vlogosphere would have heard rumblings of, hey, you know what, this Porto's thing might be falling through.
Well, and I asked them, I said, when will I find out, or when will everyone else find out? And they said, look, if we're supposed to move the beginning of March, if we do not leave in March, Porto's not coming in.
Whoa. They're supposed to move in March.
Yep.
Where are they going? I didn't think any of the buildings over there on that side were ready.
I think it was going to be a portable, right? Like one of those.
Yeah, it was going to be a portable in the back, like one of those little portable, I don't know, what do you call them? It wasn't a food truck, but you know what I'm talking about. It was going to be something like that where they were,
Because there's that one portable like that's right next to Rainforest Cafe that I thought they were just joking around that, oh, this is the new location for Earl of Sandwich.
Yeah,
that can't be the one, but there might be some on the other side.
I don't know if that was going to be the one, but yes, they were going to use a portable area, and they were not looking forward to doing that. And so it looks like if Porto's doesn't go in and they stay there at that location after March, or in March, then yeah, Porto's not coming in, and they're going to be there for a while until they finish building their building in the back, because their building is going to be a 2-story building.
Right.
They're going to be going into. But apparently, from what I've read too, it sounds like that it's going to be a 2-story building with multiple businesses within that building structure. So, but yeah, isn't that crazy? I mean, I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. I was like,
yeah,
that's kidding me. I got to tell you, I've been holding on to this news since beginning of last week. So I'm like, I want to say something.
Yeah, that's crazy. If Porto's falls through, that's going to be huge.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not that we don't love Earl of Sanchez. Sandwich.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That is actually so funny. I love the Earl of Sanchez.
Earl of Sanchez.
Yes, it is. I love it. But
Hilarious.
we love it. But Porto's was like, that's pretty major. That was a pretty major.
Yeah, that is a major loss if that doesn't happen. That's a serious, and not only is it a loss just from not having it, it's a PR loss. They're going to hear it because it's going to be like, well, what happened? Why did this, extremely, popular, I don't know if I'd call it high end, but it is definitely, a trendy, fashionable brand. Why did this brand not want to get in at downtown Disney?
And a local, all the things, right? A local business. It's just like, it was just everything.
It was the marquee announcement for downtown Disney. It was the big announcement, as much as Dim Tai Fun or whatever, that place was, everybody's excited about it. It was Porto's that was the big announcement. That one was the huge one. And I think it was just yesterday, Mondo and Danny were talking about how, they went back to D23 from 2019 and everything that happened and didn't happen from those announcements. And it was like, ooh. So it'll just be interesting.
And we'll see. I don't know why Porto's would want to go in either. I mean, think about it. They're really, really popular bakery. And if you guys haven't tried it, and if you're local, there is one in Buena Park, not far from Disneyland, that you go to.
Not far from Knott's.
Knott's,
just down the street from Knott's.
Down the street, yeah. The line is always insane and crazy. So be prepared to stand in line even at night. But the thing is, you've got people from all around the world that are coming to downtown Disney to actually see, or not just see, but to go and experience Portos at the same time. I mean, I don't know. To me, that just seems like a no-brainer. Why wouldn't you put one in? So,
yeah, I don't know. Very strange.
And then, so some more downtown Disney news. One deals with Lego Store and the other one deals with Disneyland Forward. So let's talk about the Lego Store first. So I had the opportunity to meet someone from the corporate office at Lego who was working down there, and she actually works in construction. And she was saying that they are going to do a complete full reset on the Lego Store downtown Disney, which will be nice. I mentioned to her, I said, I love the icons that you have out front, the characters. I mean, the Sleeping Beauty dragon, battle and the Toy Story characters, all that stuff. They're great. I said, but you did notice that some of them are coming apart, right? And she's like, yeah, they've been there for 15 years and it's time to replace those. So we are going to replace them. And I was like, what? Oh, you're going to replace all of them? And she's like, we're doing a full reset on the store. So it's going to be nice. It's going to take about 3 to 4 months for them to complete. So she said, definitely, make sure you come back. I said, I'm there twice a week, so I'll be back. And yeah. And then I asked her, I said, can I ask you a question? I said, those characters have been sitting out there for 15 years now. Do you find that there's certain Legos that just fade really quickly? Now that you guys have been doing this for years, you have theme parks and you put, these characters up at, the Lego stores. And she said, the color orange and light blue fade the quickest of the characters. So they try to stay away from those colors. So
interesting.
I thought that was interesting. Yeah. So they're going to do a full complete reset in the next 3 to 4 months. So you'll definitely have to check it out once they have that completed. The other news I got, so we happen to be down at Garden Walk. For those of you not familiar with Garden Walk, it's a shopping center that's right between Disney Way and Catella. And it's got all sorts of different restaurants. It has some shops. To be honest with you, it hasn't been a very good shopping center for a long time, even since they opened it. They didn't have much there when Disney had closed the ESPN zone and the not the Rainforest Cafe. Yeah, the Rainforest Cafe, as well as the movie theater. And then, of course, Anaheim House of Blues closed. Anaheim House of Blues and the AMC movie theater moved over to Garden Walk. But still, not this flagship place, and most people don't know about it. Now, Disney has been using the parking structure for a long time for overflow parking for the theme parks when Toy Story is packed, and so is Mickey and Friends is packed. So they've been doing that. And then ironically, I think this is kind of funny, but the company who actually owns the property now, I think it's STC, that's the company that actually owns the Mulan franchise, but they actually own it right now. They're not happy with it. They haven't been doing well with it. And so Disney approached the company as well as the Anaheim City Council and said, we would like to take this over. We want to buy this property and we want to turn it into downtown Disney District 2. And this would be part of like the Disneyland Forward stuff. So I was talking to one of the shop owners down there, or actually one of the managers of the shops down there, and he was telling us what Disney wants to do and what they have planned. And apparently, whatever they're planning on doing to develop the Toy Story parking lot area, they want to include it, with the second downtown Disney district. And so, if Disney takes over that property, I think it would do a lot better. I think they would bring in some more shops and some more places. I mean, they've got some great restaurants. They've got McCormick and Schmick's. They've got PF Chains. They've got CPK. They got Cheesecake Factory, et cetera, et cetera. So they have some really good places to eat. What they need is they just need some really good shops, and they need something to draw people in to go there. And I think that Disney would be able to do that if they were able to take that over and make that, the second downtown Disney district. So that's something that's in the plans and in the works as well. We'll, I'm sure, hear something in the next few months, especially after the city council votes on whether or not they're going to let Disney move forward with their Disneyland Forward, plans to re-permit everything. But that was some interesting news. So all just within the last week, I got the bit of news about Portos, Legos, and the Garden Walk location. I was like, wow, this is a lot of good stuff. I can't wait till the Park Streamers Hangout. So there you go.
Yeah, the Garden Walk thing makes perfect sense, because when you look at what the Disneyland Forward initial plan is just north of Garden Walk is supposed to be another parking structure. So that would be a parking structure that would connect you quickly to Disneyland and California Adventure. But then if the Toy Story lot becomes another entertainment / theme park area, they would want that Garden Walk to be the transition from that parking structure over to this other park. So
they have that lot, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. They just can't build on, they don't want to build on it yet because they don't have everything zoned the way they want. So they're not sure if they want to do the structure there yet, quite yet. So yeah, if everything plays out the way Disney wants it to, you'll basically kind of have this little L shape of what the Disneyland Resort then becomes, because you'd have your current DCA and Disneyland, and then as you travel east, you'd get to the parking structure, and then travel south, you'd go through Garden Walk down to the Toy Story lot. So it's.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Lynn, I was thinking about this too, because Lynn said that it'd be great if they put a bridge to Garden Walk. You know, like it would really be nice. Like I know even if it's not, I don't know, like I envision that, you know, where you're like, instead of walking across a street, like if there was some way.
Well, that's part of the structure. They want that pedestrian bridge over harbor. Yeah. And part of what caused this whole current push with Disneyland Forward to be such a crazy ordeal, and how they're doing all this outreach with the community is because when they first announced that structure and the pedestrian bridge, all the businesses along harbor basically went to the city council and said, what the heck is going on here? Because that would mean that Disney is siphoning off all that pedestrian traffic.
Right.
So Disney's trying to play nice now and trying to, you know, basically as their tide comes into Anaheim, they're trying to raise all the boats. That's basically how Disney is putting it now.
So there's another piece of news I forgot to tell you about, and we actually asked about it. I wonder if they will build a tram or a monorail to connect it. So in that conversation I had, they mentioned that they want to build a second monorail that would connect everything to the park. So that would be really cool if they did that. But again, this is a long ways off, I'm sure. But if they do get the Garden Walk area, which it looks like they probably will, because the company STC doesn't want it, and Disney is willing to take it over and purchase it, I think it makes good sense. So
yeah, but again, we need to remember Disneyland Forward is a 30 to 40 year plan. So
what
there's steps to all of this, and some of these steps are on year 20 we're going to go ahead and break ground for this thing.
So keep watching Hangout. 20 years from now.
Yeah.
I remember we were talking back, and I think it was it February 26th of 2024. We were talking about how they were going to build that monorail, and they finally did it.
I jumped up, Harry. I was right.
Yeah, but I will say though, if they do end up getting the property from STC, I think they would develop that pretty quickly. Obviously, the monorail and everything else would take a while, but I think that they would try to do what they can real quick to get new businesses in there and to develop that so that a little bit more enticing to people.
Yeah, but again, it's that key. As soon as they get the green light on their rezoning, that's going to be that's going to be the kicker. And I think the first thing that they're going to do is that parking structure, because the main thing that is an issue right now is no matter what they want to do, they need more parking. They need to be able to handle more people coming in, and the infrastructure. And that's probably going to be, more stuff like the freeway flyover that they have for the Mickey and Friends. There will probably be another thing like that off of the 5 coming from the south, so that it pulls anybody coming up the 5 into that parking structure, and everybody coming from the north into the Mickey and Friends. So there's a ton of stuff, and that parking structure probably is the key, that everything hinges on, because until they can handle more cars and more traffic coming in, they really can't develop a lot more without it becoming a problem for the city and Disneyland as itself.
Yeah. Well, Paul said, I remember when they first announced DCA and I took pictures of the old parking lot. We're going to have to do the same thing. And let's take pictures of Mickey and Friends and all the other stuff in case they go away.
Yeah.
But anyhow, I thought that was some really interesting news. So I'm glad
Yeah,
I finally got
definitely.
to share that with you guys, because it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I mean, obviously that's kind of just rumored. We're not really sure what's going to happen there. Portos thing, that's really shocking.
That's
That
right.
it might not be going in. Lego thing is
And
a sure thing.
definitely, everybody in the chats, be sure to share this out to your friends. And this is breaking news. Nobody else that I know of has mentioned anything about Portos being possibly
Mhm.
a no-go.
And you heard it from the Park Streamers Hangout.
Exactly. Barry Place doing the investigative reporting and getting you information that you can find nowhere else.
I got it from the Berry Patch.
Yeah.
Here Brian says, can you imagine what it's going to be like to line up for fireworks in front of the castle with the expanded capacity? Well, I'm really hoping that by then, Brian, when they do expand, there'll be a lot more room for people to go around, and maybe they'll, who knows, maybe they'll do some fireworks in some of the places.
I'll just be happy if they can do
show.
I'll just be happy if they can do fireworks, because right now it's like less than 50-50, it seems.
Man, we got them last night. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah,
I know, it was
nice.
awesome. I barely made it over to the park by the time they started doing fireworks. So, so cool. All right, well,
I think Winks did ask about Tortilla Joe's. I think that's still going, because I think that was kind of a bigger scope thing where they're a part of a bigger.
Yeah, that construction's already happening, so that one's a definite. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sad to see that leave, but
yep,
it is definite. Oh, I like that. Great work, Barry Place. Thank you, Winks. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, should we do some Q&A?
Brian Sevilla, is Thomasina coming to the Food and Wine Festival? Are they playing?
Ooh,
that's an interesting little
heard that. Hey, let's look that up real quick. You got inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah. I mean,
we're all like it's searching.
Well, no, I mean, it would kind of make sense. I mean, because they're technically, they were one of Knott's main bands for Summer Nights last year, but Knott's isn't doing anything like that for Boysenberry Festival. They really, and that's something interesting with Boysenberry Festival. They've really scaled back the entertainment, which is, kind of not Knott's thing, but that's what they did last year. Last year, Boysenberry Festival had a scaled back entertainment lineup, and then they came out with guns blazing with Summer Nights, and it was definitely worth the wait.
Oh,
and Brian says, awesome. Yes, they are. Brian says Thomasina going to be at Food and Wine, so we'll be checking that out definitely.
Huh? What? I don't even see it. I don't even see it on their webpage. I'm looking at the Food and Wine Festival, and I see that they're talking about the winemaking receptions, tasting seminars, beverage education, hotel wine tasting, culinary events, soaring over California, come back, festival, marketplace kiosk. Where the heck is the entertainment?
Brian's got behind the scenes info.
Good job, Brian. Yeah, I don't see. Huh. Yeah, I don't see anything, but all right. Thanks, Brian. Appreciate it.
I'm trying to get to Thomasina's website just to see if they've got a list of schedule.
Brian says, can't remember where I saw it, but also Mondo confirmed it yesterday. All right. I even searched and just searching on search engine, and I didn't come up with anything either. So weird on entertainment.
Yeah, even Thomasina's website, the last show they have listed was not Summer Nights last year.
Wow, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, bummer.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, well, that's all I had.
Yeah. All right. Any questions in the chat?
Q&A time. If you have any questions, this is the time to throw them in the chat. We covered a lot, though. We got a lot of things going on right now.
Paul M. knew it. Maybe we'll get a new Tomorrowland sooner than later.
That's lovely.
That would be nice, Paul, but I don't know.
I just want them to do something with the People Mover tracks because it's depressing. I was watching a stream. I think I don't know who they were walking through Tomorrowland, and I'm just like, God, those tracks have been empty for 20 plus years now.
Yeah, it's
They've
tough
done
there.
nothing.
It's about the Captain EO Theater, like everything. It's just all of this unused space. Somebody brought up about the Starcade. You still have the sign, but there's no Starcade.
There's no arcade.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, it's kind of. I find that I don't go through there as often. I'm like, I automatically go left. I'm going into Frontierland.
Yeah. There's almost no reason to turn into Tomorrowland right now. It's pathetic. And Tomorrowland, when I was growing up, Tomorrowland was the land.
Yep.
But
I agree. I think we had I don't know about town halls. And maybe asked if we know when town hall will be done. It's been quite a while.
Yeah.
That's been.
Yeah, I don't know how extensive the refurbishment is. So.
Yeah, that and the fire department.
Because
Cordy can't ring her bell without that. Just the video.
Yeah, G-Man made me. He took a clip of one of my live streams, so it's me ringing the bell. So he made a little clip. So now I can actually show that on the stream when we go over to the firehouse and say goodnight to Walt.
Yeah, that is cool though. What other questions do we have here?
Fireworks for Star Wars Night. It's not on the schedule. It says nothing about it, and that was definitely on the schedule last year. Like you knew you were getting those.
Well, I know they're not doing fireworks specifically for Star Wars nights, but there might be Star Wars themed fireworks at some point.
Yeah, but it was.
Yeah,
we expected to get at least the same things as we got last year. So
well, it's kind of tough for them though. That's one of the things that stinks about the fireworks at Disneyland is you got these special events. You're charging premium prices for reduced hours, and you claim or you promote that there's going to be this special fireworks show, and then it's 5 miles per hour winds. Sorry, we can't do it, folks. Here's Mickey's Mixed Magic Projections. It's. Yeah. I think they're better off saying no fireworks and just not getting the expectations up, and then everybody disappointed because that one night that I went on Star Wars night they couldn't do the fireworks because it was a little too windy.
Yeah,
so I think it's really just a matter of they probably had so many. If there were nights that they canceled fireworks on the special events, they probably just had too many people coming in and saying, "Hey, I paid a lot of money for this, and you guys didn't even do fireworks."
Yeah,
but they should do something like the projections or whatnot. Nola was talking about the viewing from the Galaxy's Edge, and that's going to be coming up real soon, where they're going to be piping in the music for Galaxy's Edge. So I'm looking forward to that. But you would think that because they're doing that, why wouldn't they do fireworks for Star Wars night? I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, I think it's really just a manage expectations kind of thing. Because think about it. If you're going, you're paying that kind of money, and you don't get fireworks when you're supposed to.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that yet, because I think people would rather just, take their chances and.
And maybe that's their game is if they can do it, they're going to be, and special presentation fireworks when they can do it.
But they did not sell out. So that was interesting too. I know they asked,
right,
but they did not sell out. And it was, you were pretty lucky if you got one of the nights last year.
Right.
They sold out fast and quick last year.
So this is going to be interesting because I don't know how many other. There's Pride Night that's coming, and then are there any other After Dark events between that and Oogie Boogie?
No, not that I know of.
Okay. Do we know how many Pride Nights they're going to do? Is it still going to be two?
Yeah, it's 2.
Okay, so those are going to sell out. We know that much.
Yeah.
The one that's going to be that's going to be the canary in the coal mine is going to be Oogie Boogie, because if Oogie Boogie does the same as Star Wars nights, where it doesn't sell out in those when it first goes on sale, if it's not sold out in the first day, there's going to be that's going to be a bellwether for Disney to start saying, okay, we need to retool these things.
Mm-hmm. Actually, let me. I'm going to bring this up so you guys can see real quick. The actual site. Give me 1 second.
And curious, do you guys remember how many Star Wars nights they did last year? Did they have the same amount, or did they do a lot more this year?
Was it 2 additional this year?
There's 2 additional this year, so they did 6 last year.
So it's only 2. Wow, I thought maybe there might have been a difference of that last year they only did 3 or 4. But yeah, wow.
And so you can see here, and this is April, and then we got May over here. But if you go on a Tuesday night, it's 159, 169 for Thursdays, and they've got basically 5 nights in April and 3 nights in May. But yeah, look. So when I went online to get my tickets, they sold out on the 2nd and the 9th really quick for the Inspire passes. And then I noticed that several of the nights, were selling out for, the other, next 2 days. But then on Friday, I got up and got right in the queue. And in fact, here's the funny thing. I got into the queue. I didn't pay attention, and I got into the queue apparently really quick, and I got online and I missed the 10-minute window. And then I clicked on it again, waited, missed the 10-minute window, clicked on it again, 10-minute window. And then all of a sudden it opens up and I'm like, wow, nothing sold out. This is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very, very interesting.
It is a little unusual. Now, I know in talking to some friends of mine, they were kind of like, really? It's only 4 hours long. And I said, well, you can get in at 6, but that event doesn't start till technically 9. And they're like, what are they offering? What are they doing? And so they, to them, it didn't sound like they were really excited about it. They were obviously intrigued by the whole, Star Wars thing, but, quick lines and limited merchandise and photo ops didn't seem to really entice them. But I was also wondering, is it more expensive this year than it was last year? Because it seems like they raised the prices, I thought.
Yeah,
if anything,
they start at 1:30. Usually the first 2 nights are 139-ish, right?
See, that's
yeah, I was going to say, I want to say that the lower priced After Dark events were the 129, and then they would get up to 159.
Yeah, well, they started at 139 for the Disney Channel.
Yeah, like the newer ones, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that one hasn't even sold out. That's really, in fact, let me go back real quick here. Look, right here, Disneyland After Dark. I mean, if you look at it, both nights. The other one's not showing. That's weird.
Yeah, I think it's just opening night. Yeah, the first night is the one.
That's the only one that still has tickets. But think about it. These have been on sale since the end of last year.
Yeah.
And it's only 2 nights. You would thought, hey, this is going to sell out quick. Nope. So it makes me wonder, how, if people are just, maybe people just weren't excited about Disney Channel. I mean, technically I wasn't excited about it, but people, maybe they're just not super excited. Obviously Sweethearts sold out, but it's kind of interesting that Disney's, the Disney Channel one hasn't sold out, and neither has Star Wars. So crazy.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think things just get old, you're like, it's Star Wars night. That's great. But there wasn't, and some of us are going because we want to share, right? We're streaming. So we're going and kind of doing this to share with everyone. But compared to last year, like there was nothing new. And I think last year, we had Queen Amidala, right? And Anakin, right? We had that whole setup, but that was a little bit of, that was a sticky one because you had to have a wristband. No one knew you had to have a wristband. There was all this stuff that kind of went around that meet and greet. And I don't think it lasted the whole, like a lot of breaks, which I understand. I'm not saying they shouldn't have breaks, but you know what I mean? Like it cuts in time for people. So I just, and even keeping that price point, because I want to say that May the 4th was like $179. It was something like that. I feel like it was $179.
It was expensive
that particular night, but that sold out right away. Like it was, I couldn't get it, and I tried, but
I would have thought. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to respond to GeoFire asking why they didn't do it on May 4th, but that May 4th falls on a Saturday, so they're not going to close the park early on a Saturday. there's too many people that are paying top price for Disneyland that day, and they're not going to cut it short for that one. It would just make too many people angry.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Lala attended Star Wars Night and had that same experience where it was like wristbands, right? You just kind of had to find it all out on your own, and hopefully like word of mouth, spread, and you were able to find out how to handle the night when you went.
Was that the first time that they did wristbands for an event?
Yeah, well, because
I
I went the very first night, so there were a lot of influencers, and they were upset, because they're going there for specific reasons, right? For their brand and everything. And they went over there and they're like, what? They're wristbands? We didn't know that. And they're like, sorry, all the wristbands have been given out. So
how do you do that?
Some people spent their time. So like, well, I'm just going to wait. I'm just going to come back and I'm just going to wait like an hour of that time that you paid for to see if they could just get in last minute, for somehow. So it's been an interesting experience going to these and seeing how some of these are, run.
So, yeah, but I think all of us are going. So, what nights are you going, Cordy?
First and last night.
First and last. So you're going the 16th of April and the May 9th. Gotcha. Very cool. And casual? For
Star Wars night?
Yep.
I believe I'm going April 30th now.
Very good. I'm going on April 18th, April 30th, and May 9th. So
Bob did his part to get the place sold out, but it seems nobody else is doing their part.
Yeah. But it should be fun. I'm looking forward to covering for all you guys. And then, Cordy, you're going to the Disney Channel night on the second night. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And I'm doing that as well. So that'll be on the March 7th. So that's a week from this Thursday.
I know.
Crazy. It's coming up fast.
Yeah. Yeah. It's weird not going the first night. That's why for Star Wars night, I'm like, no, I need to go back to my opening night because I like to. That's more fun for me is to be able to see like what they're going to do right before. I don't know. It's more of the excitement for me.
Yeah, I considered doing opening night, and then I was like, well, I think I'm just gonna wait. I don't know. I decided just to hang on and wait until everyone else went, and then I can see what I want to do and what I want to cover. So
see, I think the influencers go for the first night to get the chaos. They want the issues. They want the drama of it all. So
to be first, right? They got the first of everything.
Well, yeah, I mean to be first, but also, like I said, they want to see everything go haywire. They want to be there for all those crazy, oh, they ran out of this thing, and oh my gosh, the world's going to come crumbling down because I didn't get this little dessert or whatever.
Really upset, like it really was upsetting, and so it was kind of both. I mean, it was interesting to see behind the curtain with the influencers and how different were
when the camera's not rolling.
Well, they were treated. Some were given a little bit of special.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
That's a bummer for some of us.
Yeah. Well, even one over the other was one platform over the other was, they weren't treated equally. So it was an interesting thing to.
So if you want to catch all the drama, you watch the first night with Cordy. There you go. See?
Yeah.
We'll be slumming on the other nights.
I know we had a question too about Nintendo Land. Doom Boogie had asked, and I know us three don't go, to Universal often, but I know they just had their 1 year. Let me find it. It was about the 1 year anniversary because I can't believe that's already been open a year.
I know, crazy.
And just if we had any thoughts or like what for the future of, but aren't they doing? I've been seeing a lot about the Epic. Is it Epic Adventures or something? They're doing something new at Universal. Epic.
Oh no,
Epic
Epic
Universe.
Universe is coming out in Florida. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, in Florida. Okay.
Yeah, it's an
Yes.
entire
So that'll be a new
entire park.
We will be talking about that on the Park Streamers Hangout soon. Theme Park Casual and I were just talking about it on another channel about a couple weeks ago. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they do because it's a whole new model of how they're going to run their theme park, their flagship theme park, and we'll see if it works out. Hey, real quick, Noah was like, "Are you saying you guys aren't influencers?" Oh, we are. we're just not as big as other channels. I think is what
I'm
we're trying
not.
to say.
I'm not an influencer. No, unless you go with the aspect of whatever I do, people will do the opposite. Whatever I do, don't do that.
Okay, sure. Too funny. Oh, wait. Brian Sevilla said, dang, Universal sold out of the Jaws magnet. I had to buy it on eBay. Oh, see, I'm a Jaws fan. That's my favorite movie, and I love Jaws. So anything Jaws, I love to collect. So that's disappointing to hear, Brian. Bummer. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know about you guys, but Universal is kind of far. It's not super far, but it takes about an hour to drive up there, and then you can't stream. Now, granted, you can stream on a lot more rides at Universal than you can at Knott's Berry Farm, but it's also a little more expensive than Knott's Berry Farm, and it's not as close. So, I don't know. Maybe one of these days, I'll go ahead and do it again. But if you definitely want to check out a stream there, well, Theme Park Casual was just there not too long ago, and you go back and check out his live stream. So, although I'm sure we're going to be talking more about Universal, and we'll talk about Universal stuff because they got the new roller coaster that they're building, that we just talked about not too long ago on the Park Streamers Hangout, and they're going to have some new things, I think, coming out. Plus, it'll be interesting to see how the new theme park in Florida influences all the other theme parks that they own and what they may be doing. So. And Trish says, Theme Park Casual, you influenced me to buy one of your mouse pads. I believe that counts. Let's see. You are an influencer.
All right.
That's hilarious. Let's see. What other questions? Any other questions? Let's see. So Brian says there's rumors coming out that FNAF may not happen for Five Nights at Freddy's may not happen this year at Halloween Horror Nights. Interesting. Rumors. I don't know. Jennifer said, I heard that the Universal Monsters Tribute Store is now open at City Walk. Oh, I hadn't heard that one. But that would be cool. I love the tribute stores. I'm gonna look that up real quick.
Yeah, I'm really surprised Disney hasn't jumped on that a little bit and had some sort of a seasonal themed store that kind of has that's ultra themed the way Universal does theirs. But
I think they used to do more of those things in the past in downtown Disney. Like we would get a lot of especially with like Disney Channel shows, right? We'd have it was crazy. I mean, because my daughter was of that age, right? She was kind of a tween. So it was like those shows, and they would have, the cast out there and just kind of these pop-up performances and things like that. And they had a couple of stores, I want to say, and this is, probably a good 10, 15 year, it was a while back, but yeah, I feel like they kind of did from that, it seems.
So
into that because people would love to be able to take part in that out in downtown Disney.
Well, there you go. So Jennifer's right. Inside Universal, this is their site that I'm sharing, and it shows the Production Central, and it's got the Monster Tribute Store here, and this is what it looks like inside. Looks like a lot of the old classic monster stuff. It's probably like, we need to hurry up and get rid of it before we.
Well, no, they're hurry up, and we want to get everybody into the monster universe because of Epic Universe has an entire land dedicated to this. So
right, but sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, but they're revamping the whole Monsters universe, and so they're probably like, "Hey, let's get rid of all this old stuff first, and so we can bring in the new stuff for Epic Universe." Because they're doing the whole reimagining of all the characters. So, but Jennifer, thanks for letting us know.
And then I think the last question there from Sea Flights, Phantasmic isn't due back till May 24th, so it's a little early for dining reservations, but I'm sure they'll be doing them.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to be doing them too. So, actually, I ran to a cast member and they said, "Hey, do you want to, since you're a streamer, do you want to come on the preview night for Phantasmic?" I'm like, "Don't tease me." So, needless to say, I got their information and hopefully that'll pan out. We'll see. But
Nice.
Mm-hmm. All right. I think we're done with questions.
All right.
Well, hold on for a second here. Before we go, we have another special guest message from our friend Walt.
Well, we hope you enjoyed our amazing show tonight. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you on the next Park Streamers Hangout. Have a good night.
Like that.
Oh, thanks, Walt.
I know. So cool. I love it when Walt gets involved. All right. Cordy, you want to close this out?
Yeah. So thank you all very, very much. I think this was a very productive hangout tonight. We got a lot covered, so there will be a lot more to come, kind of filling in all those blanks. We'll have our streams out there, so you'll be able to see everything live. But we'll kind of go around the horn again. And where can we find you? Berry Place 28.
You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, or now X, TikTok, and kind of Twitch. Oh, and Facebook too, because I just started a Facebook account at Berry Place 28. So definitely come check out my Facebook page because I'm trying to get a following there too, especially my TikTok, please, and my Instagram. So, and let's see, I'm going to be streaming on Thursday night next over at Disneyland. So I hope you guys will come and join us and have some fun with us.
Perfect. And Theme Park Casual, where can we find you?
You can find me on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram, all of them at Theme Park Casual. And I don't think I'm going to be able to make it to the parks until Saturday. But Saturday is our kickoff for March Madness on TPC. And I just got these in today, and this is how we're going to be choosing what rides we go on. So if you're one of the lucky people, you'll be seeing these cards that will then reveal what number, and whoever guesses will be making the choice of what ride we go on, or they're going to get to spin the Wheel of Madness and let that choose either a ride, or they could win a prize with that. We're also doing March Madness Pluto, which is our version of Ride Bingo, and you can win more prizes. I will have more announcements on my Twitter and Instagram, but I'm going to go ahead and put the links to join the giveaways, the games for March Madness in the description below on my channel. But we'll be starting this Saturday, rope drop to close.
Wonderful.
Very cool.
And Cordy In California, Instagram, YouTube, of course, Twitch, and TikTok. And my next reservation is Wednesday.
Nice.
And then
I forgot.
Friday I'll be there for, of course, for opening day for food and wine. So got the day off. So I hope I can just, get there as early as possible and make the most of the day Friday.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I forgot to mention, so one of the things I've been wanting to do and work on for Park Streamers Hangout as well as my channel is to do some Disney trivia. So I'm going to work with Theme Park Casual and Cordy to see if we can do that for one of our future streams here. But I'm going to be testing it out on a live stream on Thursday. So if you guys are able to join and want to have some fun and try a little trivia, we're just going to do a little mini trivia on it's called Kahoot. So you just download an app called Kahoot. It's KHOOT ! And come join the stream and hopefully we'll have some fun. And then Saturday, you're going to have a bunch of fun with Theme Park Casual doing the, the March Madness thing. That's crazy. But don't forget the Food and Wine Festival on Friday.
Yep.
All right. Well, thanks everyone. Hope you guys have a great night, and we'll see you on the next Park Streamers Hangout.
Good night, everyone.